Alabama, Arkansas, Tennessee, and Virginia. Right now, let's talk with Congressman Buddy Carter, who represents the great state of Georgia. Representative Carter, welcome to Victory News.
Thank you for having me.
You bet, sir. Over 10 million combined illegal immigrants in the U.S. Is it a crisis yet, Mr. President? Well, the New York Post is reporting illegal immigrants inside the U.S. have passed the 10 million mark, greater than the population of 36 individual states. Congressman, rumor is the president may take action on the border soon. Do you really think that's going to happen, or would it be better to pass the House Secure the Border Act?
Well, there's no question about it. H.R. 2 is the best border bill that we've ever had. And it's in the Senate right now, gathering dust, as all good bills do. But we need it to be passed. Will the president do something? Well, if he does, it's obvious he's doing it for political gain. Right now, Americans are sick and tired of this. Number one issue, this and the economy, the top two issues on Americans' minds right now. So if he does do something, we know that it's because of politics. But what needs to be done is that the Senate needs to pass H.R. 2.
Sir, the Biden administration announced today that more student loans are to be forgiven, even though last year the Supreme Court ruled against such action. Where will the money come from? And is this just a way for the president, do you think, to gain votes of younger Americans come November?
No question that's what his intent is. But let's make sure we understand this. This is not the forgiveness of loans. This is the transfer of the responsibility of those loans from these students to you and I and to other taxpayers. That's exactly what it is. Those loans are still there. They're just being transferred to people who didn't take out the loans, to people that didn't benefit from the loans. And it's one of the most unfair things that can possibly be done. I had student loans. I paid them back. And I'm sure that many people did. How fair is that to them?
Yep, I'm with you on that. Been there, done that. Representative Carter, the House Energy Committee has named you chairman of the Environmental, Manufacturing, and Critical Minerals Subcommittee. First of all, congratulations, and tell us about the common sense climate leadership Georgians say you will bring to that job.
Well, first of all, I do believe in climate change. I believe it is real, and I believe it is impacted by man. I believe it's cyclical. I'm old enough to remember the early 70s when we thought we were headed back to an ice age. And I don't believe that we're going, if we don't have this resolved by day after tomorrow, that we're all going to fry. We have to take a pragmatic approach to this, and all of the above type energy strategy, utilizing our fossil fuels as a bridge to when we can get to renewables and use them entirely. We may never get there. I'm often critical of the fossil fuel industry because I don't think they've done a good enough job of letting the people know just how much they've improved carbon emissions, and they have.
That's a very good point. Now, Congressman, you have had a national soap opera of sorts playing out in Georgia with the hearings and the conduct of Fulton County DA Fani Willis and her prosecutor, Paramore Nathan Wade. What do you think should happen with them and the case they are prosecuting?
Well, I think that it's past the point now that she can be effective and that this would be a fair trial. There's no question in my mind that she needs to be removed from this and that we need to continue on. Yes, I believe that they deserve. I don't think it should have ever been brought in the first place, but they do deserve their day in court, and certainly they're not going to get a fair trial from this judge. We know that.
Yeah. Congressman, you lost U.S. troops from Georgia in that drone attack on the U.S. forces in Jordan last month. Tell us about that experience, and is the U.S. doing enough to stop Iran and its supplying of terrorist groups with deadly weapons?
Well, first of all, we did lose 3 heroes from the state of Georgia, 2 of them from our district here in the 1st Congressional District of Georgia. I was in Dover, and I was in Dover when the dignified transfer of remains took place, and I will tell you it was one of the most moving experiences of my life to simply walk on that tarmac and to see that giant plane, cargo plane, with the nose up, with 3 boxes draped in American flags, with American troops behind them. That was one of the most moving experiences that I've ever had. And I will tell you, this cannot go unanswered. I applaud the president for what they have done in the way of responding to this. And yes, we need to stop this. We can't have our troops being used for target practice. That's not what they're there for. And my thoughts and prayers go out to the family members who have been impacted by this.
And ours as well. Congressman Buddy Carter, thank you so much for your time and your insight. We greatly appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Tim.